Yes, welcome everybody. Welcome to the film room. We are live here downtown in Southtown 101, coming to you live at Pub Sports Radio Studios. We got the dynamic duo in the house. As you can see, it's just gonna be me and Jay Steele.
What's up?
Yes. While the moms of the group are at home doing the mom thing. So it's gonna be the dynamic duo. We got a lot to dig into today, especially when it comes to the sports side, when it comes to this show. But let's get right into it. Yes, last week we were talking about, actually when we got off the air, Jay Steele brought up a little something of a new Shia LaBeouf movie. Now, The Tax Collector. It looks good, looks great, looks awesome. And the reports of Shia getting himself a new tattoo for this role. Jay?
And it's real. If you haven't seen the trailer, I think we're gonna be playing that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you haven't seen anything about this movie, I think last Thursday is when the trailer was released. It just broke probably like an hour before the show.
Or was it after the show, or was it before we got off the air?
I think it was I think it was during. They broke during the show, and I think I mentioned it, but after is like when we
that's
kind
right.
of
You mentioned it during the show. That's right.
But so if you haven't seen it on the internet, Shia LaBeouf's new tattoo for this movie, it's kind of crazy.
It almost puts Danny Totoro's tattoo, like, not to shame, but as that comparison of a type of tattoo of that type of Ruka woman on his chest. And it's real. It's real. He literally got this tattoo done just for this movie. And in this movie, it's called The Tax Collector. You're going to see the trailer in a little bit. We're going to give you a little bit of description of it. He's pretty much the, I guess what you can call the JD as an American Me type of, or was it JD? No, DJ. If anybody remembers American Me, remember the character DJ, who is pretty much a white guy who grew up with Latinos in Southeast LA. So Shia in this particular movie is almost that type of character, but more of a enforcer type of role, right?
Yeah, and he's getting a little heat from it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because they're saying he's trying to portray a Mexican, but in reality, the story of his character is that he is a white person, Anglo, whatever's politically correct, who grew up, I guess, in the hood with Mexicans. And
this is the lifestyle that he grew up with,
and he's an enforcer, and I guess that was his way of fitting in and being their friend, and now he's big time.
So without any further ado, we're gonna go ahead and cue up the trailer and let you guys see The Tax Collector. If you haven't seen it for the first time, here is the trailer. What's up, Chavo? Thanks for watching, bro. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. So we're gonna go ahead and cue it up and just get this show on the road.
We're queuing it up as we speak. Like we said, we have some computer problems every once in a while here, so we got it though.
Yes, and of course that's our lovely producer.
You heard of me? What have you heard?
I heard you're the devil.
It might be.
Come on, fool. Good, eh?
Every gang in LA has to pay their taxes.
What's up, Holmes?
Wake up.
If you're stacked short, go rob a bank. Rob your own mother. There's no excuses. Do not test that.
Whoa, hey, whoa. You guys look like a couple of monsters.
Oh, yeah.
Who the hell, man?
Yeah, but I'm the
Lopez,
piece.
I see.
What's up, Johnny Cash? How about that time you gave me like 3 different STDs?
Are you kidding? She's kidding. She's kidding. You got your wife, you got your kids, you got your castle.
Daddy!
I'm supposed to terrorize the herd. That's my function, George Lopez.
God allows me to walk through darkness and come back into the light.
What did you see, man?
I heard that you were this big bad gangster.
You're taxing 43 different street gangs. That's thousands of dudes in the most violent subculture in Los Angeles.
The sounds short.
Who are you? I'm the future, and you the past. You got your kids. You want to buy them back? You don't think he wants to spill blood? He wants to cut your heart up.
Can't run for what's left.
I got a 380 on each ankle, 38 on my right, 25 on my left, chopper in the trunk, Glock in my belt. I'm on it.
Took my kids, man.
I'm riding with you till the wheels fall off.
You're bad. You ain't that bad, all right?
Open your mouth.
He'll splatter your brains out. I don't want that.
I do. I want that.
No business, dude. Like, this is something.
Whoa.
Yes, like this is a child you never seen before. You thought him and Honey Boy was good, playing his father. Just by seeing this trailer, fuck.
I definitely understand what they mean about him being Mexican. You get it. You get it immediately. The first Holmes. I'm like, oh, okay.
What's up, Holmes?
But I was like, oh, okay. So he is trying to be Mexican, that kind of guy. Okay, all right.
But I mean, what you got from that? You have all what? He's in the most viable spot in LA of street gangs, and he's the pretty much the only enforcer to what, keep everybody in line.
Yeah, keep all.
Yeah,
what you got
keep
from
all
it,
the-
I guess that was the main. Like he or his best friend's the main gangster that
Mhm.
pretty much runs everything in that part of LA, and he's his guy. He's the enforcer, and like the trailer starts off, the first words are, "Have you heard of me?" And
What's
yeah.
up, Holmes? Like, fuck.
You know,
Dude, it looks dope, dude. And go for it, Josie. What you got?
I would say, I don't know, like, who is the good guy in this scenario? I guess, are we rooting for just one mob boss or a gangster, or whatever we're calling them, for over another one?
Yeah, I think that's
so.
the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
All right.
that's
Yeah.
we're
Well, I'm
supposed to
in.
root for Shia's game.
Yeah, root for Shia. I guess honestly, probably Shia's is probably stand alone by himself, because from what you saw from the trailer of him, of the guy that he was talking to, and him, like, well, you better watch out because they're all coming for you. And he was like, well, I got one gun here, I got one gun here, I got another gun here. I'm good, I'm set, I'm ready. And then, like, at the very end of the trailer, you just hear, do you want your brain splattered all over the wall? I was like, that's what I'm ready for. Like, fuck,
Crazy.
nuts,
Crazy. And I'm glad he's getting back into, like, I mean, like, I don't mind what is it, Honey Boy
Uh-huh.
and those like indie movies he was doing.
Mhm.
He was being artsy and stuff, but like I'm glad he's getting back into
mainstream
Hollywood.
I mean, this is David Ayer.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the director of the trailer of what movies he brought to you. He brought you Training Day. He brought you End of Watch. He brought you Fury. And like End of Watch is pretty much almost like this joint right here that we saw the trailer of. You have the white cop, you got the Mexican cop, and End of Watch, and they're trying to be pretty much gangsters themselves because they're police. And this one is just straight up nothing but LA street gangs, and Shia is the one who's keeping them all in line. Like, it's nuts, dude.
It's gonna be nuts.
It's
and
great.
what's crazier is, if you haven't seen the pictures all over the internet, is Shia LaBeouf's tattoo.
You saw it on the trailer.
That tattoo is real. He literally tattooed his whole chest, abdomen, front part of his body with a real tattoo just for this role. It's crazy.
Talk about method acting, like really getting into your character. And that's not the first time Shia really got into his character. I mean, yeah, you know him from Transformers and his performance, he did all that, but when he got onto Fury, and if anybody's seen that movie, that guy put out his own tooth.
That doesn't sound fun.
For the scene.
For just the scene, yeah, just for that particular scene, the guy pulled out his own tooth.
And then for this movie, he didn't want to be walking around with the fake tattoo and having to retouch it, and he wanted the real thing. And
don't have to touch it anymore.
It is
straight
crazy.
legit.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to be in the makeup chair.
That's definitely very psycho of Shia LaBeouf right there. It definitely precedes him now. The reputation of him being kind of a little out there, you know, it definitely makes sense.
Yeah, because now for the rest of his life, he's gonna have to play the
he's a
Mexican gangster best friend.
I mean, unless you get a lot of makeup to cover up that too, like The Rock covered up his freaking tattoos for Hercules.
I mean, I guess it's easier to CGI it out than CGI it on.
Yeah, mustache gate.
Just put him a green shirt on and
Let's see what Chavo says. Chavo, what do you think of the trailer, dude? You were watching it live with us, man. Give us your thoughts on it. Let's see. Chavo says he deserves it. Shia will always be the unique individual, must respected towards him. But when he was
Uneven
Stevens. Throwback. It is a throwback Thursday. What's up, fellas from Brotherly Hype? What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Tuning in on YouTube, mind you. Sweet. Cheers to that. But yeah, the Tax Collector is supposed to be coming out in theaters. It's supposed to be coming out next year, so we'll see if everything comes out. It's supposed to be next year. It's supposed to hit theaters next year. But, you know, the only thing we'll be able to do that or see that in theaters if people just, you know, wear a mask. Wash your hands. Stay at home. Do the smart thing. You want to see movies in theaters, do that. Then we can be able to go to the movie theaters and see. Yes, fingers crossed. Thank you.
You know what? This past weekend I went and got movie theater popcorn because they're selling it.
Like actual, like AMC
at Santikos. They're doing like $4 buckets.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Went in.
They gotta keep.
I went in with my mask on, and I got me some popcorn. And
was it free refills?
Just eat it in a parking lot. Come back, get another one.
Well, you know, I don't see why the movie theaters can do something like that. Set up a big screen in the parking lot and do your own drive-through.
They were open. They were playing movies. I guess like limited seating, very spaced out. I mean, like I said, I went in real quick. Got some popcorn and left, but I did see they're playing.
They're playing old movies,
Deathly Hallows Part 2 and the Ghostbusters with the girls.
Yeah, so it's pretty much old films of earlier 2010s and stuff like that. I heard they were supposed to do like an Avengers show them all again in theaters and shit. So, but I mean, if you guys want to see new movies instead of watching them at home, please just wear a mask, wash your hands, stay at home now.
See, but the thing with the Tax Collector. Like, it looks so good.
It has to be in theater. You have to see it in theaters. It's like End of Watch.
End of Watch is something
that you had to watch.
Yeah.
That you had to spend the $7 on. And this movie looks like you had to spend that $7.50.
Probably one of the best trailers of any upcoming movie I've seen.
I agree with that. I agree. Yeah, it's up there. I'd say it's number one. It's up there passing Black Widow for me.
Well, other than because we've seen, it's kind of like we've seen these Black Widow trailers. Like we've seen the Wonder Woman trailer. We're kind of getting the same movies that were supposed to come out. So nothing's new. We're like getting these same.
This trailer was better than
this one, and then this one drops, and you're like, fuck. Oh man, like I want to go back to the movie.
Yeah, it's like I want to see this. I want to hear the surround sounds around me and that freaking Apex Theater audio, whatever. Just fuck.
I really want the Holmes to penetrate my ears.
Yeah.
There you go.
I want to hear Holmes in surround sound.
I want to see if he says anything in Spanish in this movie. I'm pretty sure he's going to speak a little bit of it.
How much money would you pay right now to watch it?
I pay pay-per-view.
I pay pay-per-view price. I was just thinking the same thing.
For the fight this weekend, that's how much I'll pay for it.
For the movie, I mean, the movie's going to be longer than, probably like the whole fight card.
Yeah.
And then all these digital releases are giving it to you for what, like 2-3 days
for $20 or something, like $30.
$65 for this week's pay-per-view. So would you pay $65 to watch it right now?
I'll do 45.
I'll do 65. That's just much of a movie goer I am.
Justin, you're not going to fork over the extra $20. You're really not going to fork over the $20.
I'll cover you.
Or maybe I'll just go halvesies and we'll watch it at your house.
There you go. Shit, there you go. See,
and that's what
we can still keep social distancing. We can have it outside.
Yeah.
Projector. It is the film room after all.
Yeah, we love it.
But I'm just like, this trailer just blows my mind and how much Shia literally put himself into this role of being this character. And we're hope we'll see it just coming out in theaters, and hopefully by next year. I think by next summer it's supposed to hit. So just keep looking out for that tax collector. If not, he's gonna come knocking at your door.
Yep.
Just saying.
And that's just the first trailer.
Yeah. And it wasn't even a teaser.
Yeah.
It was a literally 2 and 30-minute trailer. Like they gave you a good scoop of what the movie's entailing and what's gonna be like. So I'm ready. But let's keep moving on. And trucking did about the HBO Max. Now HBO Go is gonna be deleted basically at the end of this month, and pretty much HBO Max is your HBO on the go. And they're doing their own original programming and all this other stuff. And we all know that the Snyder Cut is coming on HBO Max next year. But what you probably don't know is, coming to breaking news live here first on the Film Room, is that we might be seeing the original Green Lantern of the DC in Zack Snyder Cut. And meaning the original Green Lantern? Who's the original Green Lantern, Jay Steele?
Deadpool himself.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
Wow. Woo. Wow. Like
the Snyder Cut is making things happen. I feel like it's making
it's what we need from fucking DC.
DC getting a little more riskier. Like
they're like, we want, it's the DC that the fans want, that we want to see. We want to see these, like the Green Lantern, the movie, when even Ryan Reynolds said it sucked. Even the script, like you saw it on Deadpool. Literally, you saw it on Deadpool of how he thought of the movie.
Anytime you can bring it up, he makes fun of this movie.
Yes.
And X-Men when the first or Wolverine Origins, that one played, but
because the way how Deadpool was portrayed, and they're looking like freaking like a ball, fucking what's his name from Mortal Kombat? Baraka.
There you go.
But like,
I think it's a perfect nod to have him come back because he's the only Green Lantern we know. Right, it's not like these other superheroes.
And he did. Don't get me wrong. He did a pretty good Hal Jordan. He did a great Hal Jordan. He was good as Hal Jordan, but the suit and all the CGI-ness in it didn't work. Like, I mean, they could have done a real suit and have it lit up like how they did with Shazam.
I think that's where they messed up. The suit was the main part, you know.
The CGI of the suit.
Yeah, the CGI of the suit. And like you said, I mean, I'm kind of just repeating now, but now that thinking about it, I mean, there's ways to do CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Example, James Gunn with Guardians of the Galaxy does it amazing. You think you're in outer space. Green Lantern, you're like, oh, look at this CG outer space.
Like you can literally see it's computer animated.
Yeah.
Bad. And all the Green Lanterns were all with the same suits and they were all CGI. Like with Mark Strong playing as Destro, was in a CGI suit and makeup from the top of his head.
CGI
pretty much
head to toe,
right? Like how they did Cyborg.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like with Cyborg, you could have done a whole lot of practical effects, even on his face. Like half of his face could have been practical.
If you can make Iron Man suit and have Robert Downey Jr.,
or even Nebula.
Yeah, I mean,
like, come on. Like even Robert Downey in the first Iron Man, he was literally half Iron Man suit or whole Iron Man suit. And then as it progressed, it started dwindling down a little bit to CGI, but half of him was still practical effects. Like, but still trying to rehook Ryan Reynolds into this role as Green Lantern in the Snyder Cut is ballsy and something.
At the beginning of the movie, I mean, you get the glimpse of a Green Lantern,
right,
and
helping him out, right?
He like dies right away, right, and then the ring takes off. So, but
that's not what Snyder wanted.
Yeah,
like,
he wanted to.
He literally wanted
a Green Lantern because he was building the universe.
Yeah, he was
until they took it away from him.
Yep. Just because he was building it from Man of Steel and he was building the own DCU. He was the one who was basically the creator behind the DC universe, starting with Man of Steel.
And I think all the hype that the Snyder Cut is getting before the film's not even done. I mean, a version of it is done, but the hype that it's getting, I think it's making Warner Brothers open up their eyes and like,
oh, well, we fucked up. Yeah, we did something wrong.
Maybe we should go with the original plan and let Snyder do what he wants to do.
Right.
And I mean, the buzz around it is crazy.
I mean
everybody's waiting for it. People are getting HBO Max just knowing that that they will be able to see the Snyder Cut next year.
Yeah, and spending $35 million to reshoot and to do all what they need to do to bring this movie out says a lot. The Warner Brothers is finally getting behind Zack Snyder and his vision, which is about fucking time. We've been saying this for shit since he got off the fucking movie, which is well over 6-7 years now.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And fans wanted it, fans got it, and it's coming. And if they can get this locked in, As Ryan Reynolds coming back as Green Lantern, that's another actor crossing over DC and Marvel. You have Michael Keaton doing it if they lock him in Flashpoint as Batman. Ryan Reynolds is gonna be the next one. Like,
I mean, even if it's just for a small cameo, it's gonna be huge,
and it's gonna be a lot of money to get him in there. And not only that, he might be coming in as Deadpool early as we think.
Ryan Reynolds is a very busy man.
Whew.
Rumors are that before Deadpool 3 is going to come out, they will introduce him in at least, the rumors are at least 2 movies as of right now in Marvel Phase 4, introducing him into that universe. And then eventually we'll get Deadpool 3 fully in the universe. But he's expected to make at least 2 cameos in 2 Marvel movies.
Yes. You know, I kind of think he should take over the Stan Lee cameos. You know how Stan Lee just pops in? Like, you know, because Deadpool can see through the fourth, like talks to the fourth wall. You know what I'm saying?
He would be the only one to do that.
Right.
You know,
because he still does, he's still doing it. Yeah. He did it in the Fox movies. And when Fox bought, when Marvel, or should I say Disney bought Fox, you saw the parodies and stuff, and you saw Deadpool on the corner with Mickey Mouse ears and still being like he's still gonna see within the fourth wall. So he might talk about Fox and Disney at the same time within the same movie.
I mean, he clowns on the other X-Men movies.
Yes,
like, he literally talks shit about the other X-Men movies while he's Deadpool.
Yeah,
like that one scene where he walks in, he's like, "Hey, we're all the students. I guess we could only afford 2 characters.
2 characters. We can't even afford 1 from the main roster. Jeez!" And he opens the door. They're all right there. They close it. You're like, come on. Or like when he on the very first of Deadpool, he's like, "Oh, I know, right? Whose balls did I have to find to get my very own movie? But I can't tell you." It rhymes with Wolverine. Like, come on.
And then he makes another comment about Professor Xavier. He's all like, which one are we doing?
Yeah,
like,
which one is he?
Like,
old,
young.
He
goes, what, like the resetting of the timelines. I'm just so confused, right? Something like that. Like,
so many timelines, it's so confusing. So I mean, like, if to see that into the MCU and still bring that character, I mean, they should. I mean, they're not going to change a thing. They already said that Deadpool's the only character that they're not changing.
Yeah,
Marvel said it.
That's how it is in the comics. You know, they throw Deadpool in with Wolverine. I mean, he was part of the X-Force. He had a good little run with the team up with Spider-Man. That's what he's kind of like famous for. Also,
he became an Avenger for a while.
He had a good little run also with the team up with Cable, Cyclops' son. So I mean, but he always stays in character, like the comic series. But he is always in character. I think that's why he had that big following.
He's probably the only character that hasn't changed, that hasn't evolved. That's literally been the exact same character since he first came in the 90s.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I love it. I just hope. I mean, I'd be cool to see him in Zack Snyder as Green Lantern, whatever the clip is, or the cameo as Hal, and then going back to the MCU and still portraying Deadpool. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. All for that.
I'd hate to see it.
Of course.
It's going to be good.
Got to get some maximum effort, Josie. Got to get maximum effort.
That's what I tell myself all the time. You know? when I have to get out of bed and do something, maximum effort.
Oh, well, I tell you what, brother, what we're going to do is we're going to hook you up real soon around here. So speaking of that, anybody heard about the new biopic about Hulk Hogan?
I have
not.
Oh, we got one in the house.
And this biopic is getting a lister.
Be top person who came out of nowhere in the superhero role and just made himself a bona fide superstar, who says himself that the regimen that he is doing to pretty much portray the Hulk in his body is even a lot tougher than he did as a superhero, which I kind of find it hard to believe. But Chris Hemsworth, y'all, is playing Hulk Hogan in his biopic called The Hulkster. That's the name of the biopic, The Hulkster. And it's coming on Netflix. It's supposed to start shooting by the end of this year. Hopefully it will, because of the whole COVID stuff that's been going on. And it just starts taking off, and it's supposed to be hitting Netflix by next year, by the end of next year. So, thoughts? Does Hulk Hogan even deserve a biopic after all this shit that's been coming out?
At first, I was like, "What? Hulk Hogan biopic. I guess if there's nothing on TV that day, I might check it out. What? Chris Hemsworth?
Right?
That's
That's like, I'm watching it.
And it's gonna be like it's gonna be set and I could only assume various
like
decades, 70s, 80s, 90s. You know,
right? Pretty much where the Hulkamania was extreme and big and popular. So from what I read, that it's supposed to start off to where he had his Thunder Lips role in Rocky. What was it? Rocky 3? Rocky 3 where he was Thunder Lips.
Yes,
right.
That's when he was gonna fight Mr. T, and he was kind of getting
Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Fighting nobodies before and doing publicity. Yeah, it was Rocky 3.
Rocky 3. So that's what we saw. So that's the type of Hulkster or Hulk Hogan we're gonna see pretty much start off in the movie and work your way up all the way up until Hulkamania and until I guess the late 90s until he pretty much faded out, I guess. But this is something like
it could be a very good resurgence of Hulkamania and his career. I mean, he was a big part of wrestling, you know, up until probably like
10,
15 years ago. And then he started
stories started coming out about him being racist and all this other shit.
Problems with the wife and the divorce and
kind of be racist.
But
then his son going to jail, his daughter trying to become a pop star. Having a reality show.
We have a comment from Gennaro Garcia III, aka GG3, aka the host of 210 Culture.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Saying that this movie will be trash if Hulk is involved, which I echo these sentiments. He should not be in this movie, and that is a terrible idea. If he is going to play any part in this movie.
I don't think. I don't know if he'll more than likely they'll probably have him as a fucking cameo. Who knows? Maybe playing his father as himself. I don't know. But more than likely, it could be a cameo in it, but I don't possibly think it's so because
big shout out to G. And yes, I fully agree with you. And I honestly don't think Hulk Hogan owns a lot of his rights anymore.
It's WWE.
Yeah,
dude. They own it all.
A lot of it is WWE. Maybe even his wife, I think, got a lot in the divorce, so they can easily make a movie without his opinion on his opinion about the movie.
Oh, that's wrong. Oh, no, that's right. Oh, let's do this. Like, I don't think he's going to have any type of intake in it. Plus, the director who's directing this movie won't allow it. The director of this movie is Todd Phillips. And, of course, people don't know who Todd Phillips is. Did you remember a movie called The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix? There you go. Or The Hangover, Project X. That's all Todd Phillips. He did all those movies, but he really came to being a very top director is when he did The Joker, and he got nominated for that as well as Best Director.
Everybody knew the Hangover movies. They probably could have not named you the director, but everybody knows the Joker was made by
Todd Phillips. And he's the director of this movie.
And he's very particular about making the movies his way. That's one of the reasons Joker took so long to go into production, and he had a very, very long battle with Warner Brothers
of how he wanted the movie.
He fought hard to get the Joker the way he wanted and not have the whole separate Snyder cut fiasco like all the other DC movies. He fought hard and he got the deal he wanted and the movie he wanted, and that's what he made. And I can only imagine, I mean, like you said, he will not let anybody influence his way
like
of making
Quentin Tarantino. Pretty much like he's whatever he wants, whatever he writes, because he wrote Joker. He helped write Joker, and he's helped writing this script as well. So he's not going to tolerate it. He won't take it. And Netflix, the way they have it at Netflix, they pretty much let you do whatever the fuck they want. Because, I mean, you see all the documentaries that they bring out, or even the original movies that they bring out, like Extraction. That Extraction is pretty much the most watched movie of Netflix history. So, it's just, that's just how it is. That's just how it works. And, what's up? Amanda Rogan is watching from home.
Same thing with The Irishman. You know, Netflix had it. And one of the reasons Martin Scorsese went with Netflix for that is because he was getting a lot of pushback on how long the movie was going to be. The effects that he was going to be at, what he wanted, about the whole aging of the actors. A lot of studios didn't want to waste that money on it or spend that money on it or let them have a 4-hour long movie, how long it was, felt like 4 hours.
It was like 3 hours and 30 minutes?
Yeah.
from start to finish.
But Netflix said, yeah, do it. Here's the money. Make your movie.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's going to be good. Same thing with this.
Yep. I mean, that's just how it is. And when you got an A-list cast or first like an A-lister to start off with it and a badass fucking director behind it, it's a good start. And Netflix has pretty much have been trying to get that type of movie like with Amazon Prime to get nominated into the Oscars and stuff like that. So this is what they're doing. This is what they've been doing. Like, here's the money. Do what you want. You're the director. You're the writer. Go. And this is gonna be their next one. Is the Hulkster. That's the name of the movie, The Hulkster. So, and having Chris Hemsworth attached to it is not too bad. But I just still don't believe that the workout regimen that he's doing for this movie couldn't be as much regiment that he did for the first Thor. Because the first Thor, he was big.
We're acting like these guys don't use steroids. What are we talking about?
I don't think Chris Hemsworth uses
Yeah, I
steroids.
don't think Chris.
Well, then it's his loss. Then
Well,
what are you doing?
Chris Hemsworth actually has his own like
his own
fitness company. Like you can buy
Centrin,
something
like that.
It's one of those where you sign up and they send you the workout regiments, and I think you could like work out with Chris Hemsworth like via satellite or whatever.
Well, guess what Hulk Hogan did all the time? Steroids. So
he was a roider. Look at these pythons.
That could be one of the reasons he's, Chris Hemsworth is working so hard to put on that size.
Because of that. Yeah. I mean, Hulk Hogan was a big dude. He's 6'6", 285 or something like that. Almost 300 pounds with his 24-inch pythons, as he called it.
And then, I mean, I guess as Thor, it was more of a sculpting type of
trying
workout.
to get that.
Because I mean, Hulk Hogan never had a six-pack. He was just a bulky, buff dude. So I mean, it's could be
that's probably
weight,
that could be the reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when he was in Thor, he had he was ripped, six-pack, all that shit. And yeah, you're right. Hulk Hogan didn't really have a six-pack at all.
The diet was probably harder in Thor than it's going to be for
this
Hulk. But
yeah,
I mean,
here's probably all nothing but beef.
I can only imagine it's a lot heavier weight, lot of more strenuous.
Yeah, but it's crazy what these actors go through just to basically play a role. Like when Christian Bale freaking did, what was it? What was that movie where he was bulimic, where he's supposed to be a bulimic person, and he's like literally skin and bones. God, I forgot the name of that movie. Or
I know what you're talking about.
Adrian Brody and the Pianist.
It's the one right before he made the one with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, right before the fighter.
Yeah,
As you can tell, it was still the effects from it.
But to go from bulked up Batman to
that, exactly. That's something.
The Mechanist, by the way.
Thank you. There you go.
And then Jared Leto
with Bryson Dallas
Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, Dallas Buyers. Same thing with Matthew McConaughey. You saw that when he did Wolf on Wall Street. The effects of it, how skinny he was.
They still look a little off. I mean, just going back method acting to Shia LaBeouf.
Dude, with his tattooing. It's something.
What they do for these roles is crazy.
Amazing. And they get paid big bucks for it, you know. They do. Let's see. Chavo says, hope Chris has the Hulkster's haircut throughout. He's going to have to, dude. He's going to have to grow out, he can grow out the hair. You saw what he looks like with blonde hair, but trying to get the baldness starting to come in, that's going to be something. That's going to be something.
I think it's going to be a more advanced take of the last Thor we saw. The fat.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. That's a good one.
I can't wait to hear his
Hogan
impersonation.
Like, what you going to do when Hulkamania starts running wild around you?
I'm pretty sure he has an accent too, right? He's Australian or something like that.
Yeah, he's an Australian.
So yeah, let's see that.
He's played an American before. I mean,
but this is the real American, guys.
I am a real American.
That's the song, right?
Yeah. Fight for every man.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. I hope we get to see NWO. Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan.
I hope they finish it off. NWO.
Yeah, then, that'd be cool, dude.
Yeah, and then he's like calling it quits after that. And then they end the movie. They don't go.
They don't go into WCW. They just pretty much keep them as.
But that would be awesome.
Yeah, but so that's gonna be a good movie. It's gonna be on Netflix. So for those who have Netflix, you're gonna be able to see it. It's gonna be coming out, directed by Todd Phillips. Chris Hemsworth is attached. And supposedly some of the wrestlers that might be making an appearance in this movie would be like somebody like King Kong Bundy, Andre the Giant, Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, Roddy Piper, and Sergeant Slaughter are some of the wrestlers that were supposed to make an appearance.
G makes a good point. How do you make a Hulk movie without Macho Man. Who will play Macho Man?
Yeah, okay, let me ask you this. This is the question for next week. Who do you think should play Macho Man? If you want to answer it right now, please go ahead and let us know on Facebook or on YouTube, wherever you're watching. Who do you think could play Macho Man Randy Savage?
We'll add up the answers and then give the most the winner next week. We'll say
we'll give you a pop doll.
Who predicted.
Yeah. If you get it right, and if you get the right actor, you will win a pop doll and maybe a gift card from, who knows, maybe Amazon or a restaurant or maybe a gift card of your choice. We'll
Coupon for free hugs.
Yes.
You never know what you will win.
Just very, very long distance high fives. Stuff like that. You never know.
You guys know what we should listen to right now?
¿Qué pasó?
We should definitely pump some tunes right now. Let's see if Hulk Hogan's theme song is going to play for us.
That's his song.
I kind of, it like makes me want to like
just to start writing like, let's go fight for your life.
If you're not watching the show right now, like bobbing your head, you're not a real American.
And then when he became Hollywood Hulk Hogan, he changed his song to All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. That was crazy. So he went from that to that.
Shout out to Hulk Hogan. One of the most controversial wrestlers of all time, but still beloved out there.
Yeah, he really is by the WWE fans. He is very beloved.
one of the pioneers of wrestling who made wrestling what it is today. I mean,
yeah, he put WWE on the map. Him, Macho.
He got all our dads and uncles to watch it,
and then we watched it too.
Watch it with them. Yeah, it was kind of passed down, and it all started kind of with Hulkamania.
And then when he came back, even when he came back into WWE, when he came back with the NWO, was badass too. Like he is really
the spray painted black beard.
The colored in, the pen colored in beard. Like, come on. The 5 o'clock shadow.
There's gonna be a lot of good old wrestlers that are gonna have to be revived here.
Well, okay. If you haven't know or seen the show before about Ric Flair, actually Ric Flair is getting his own biopic as well.
Everyone's getting a biopic.
Well, yeah.
Why not?
Everyone's getting a documentary or a biopic or something now because of The Last Dance.
Well, I would say Ric Flair probably could be a pretty much better biopic maybe than Hulk Hogan because of Ric Flair and who he was and how he was portrayed inside the ring.
He did a 30 for 32.
Yeah. That's where they got the movie from.
Of course.
Yep.
You gotta do it before these people die.
Yeah.
Ric Flair's been hanging on by a thread for a lot of years. Who knows what Hulk Hogan's up to? He just tweets out every once in a while.
Bastard.
Man, let me tell you, I love Hulk Hogan's tweets, and I love how he always signs them with HH. It's the funniest thing out there every time. Thank you, brother. HH.
But here, before we go into the sports, I got a quick question for both of you. We're gonna do another pick 3. So far, we've been doing this on the show for the past couple of weeks now, and the first one was what action movies. I think the next one was horror movies. Now this one is pretty much random. It's all these movies together. So you can only pick 3, no exceptions. These are the movies: Goodfellas, Alien, Back to the Future, Inception, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Indiana Jones, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, Old Boy, The Dark Knight, RoboCop, Jaws, Star Wars, New Hope, The Shining, Mad Max Fury Road, Jurassic Park, 2001 Space Odyssey, Pulp Fiction, Braveheart, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Magneto, Fight Club, The Thing, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Snatch, Step Brothers, Godfather 2, Wedding Crashers, Die Hard, Mean Girls. We can just take that one off.
Yeah, that was a bone.
That's just just scratch that one off the list. City of God, Clockwork Orange, First Blood, The Princess Bride, Scarface, Harry Potter, and The Sorcerer's Stone, Saving Private Ryan, No Country for Old Men, Watchmen, The Matrix, Shawshank, Bridesmaids, Fast and the Furious, Tombstone, The Hangover, and Psycho.
Man, I'm about to fall asleep reading all those movies. I'll go first.
Go for it.
I have Goodfellas, classic movie, very, very good. I'll take Star Wars there with me, and I need a laugh, so I take Step Brothers as well.
Oh, damn, Josie, right on the spot, dude. Look at you.
Well,
you already knew.
It was a long list. I had enough time to think about
it. Let's see here. Choa says Indiana Jones, Die Hard, and First Blood. Okay. All right. Jay Steele, what you got?
This is so hard.
Isn't it?
This is the hardest list ever because
there's so many good ones on here.
I mean,
let's see here. Okay. Garcia says Step Brothers, Scarface, and Star Wars. You can only pick one. You can only say one time, Ochoa. You can't change your pick. So it's either going to be Matrix, Dark Knight, or Tombstone, or D with Indiana Jones, Die Hard, and First Blood. You can only choose one. Let's see here. Who is this? Let's see. Then we also said Goodfellas and Hangover. Okay. Let's see. Are you still looking, Jay?
I'm still so torn. I mean, there's.
All right, I'll go. It's like Jay said, it's so hard. There's so many good ones. I'm gonna say Tombstone. I'm gonna say.
Man, I can put you guys in a box.
I'm gonna say Tombstone, Dark Knight, and I want to laugh too. So I would say either be Princess Bride. Yeah, I said it. Princess Bride.
Over Star Wars? Over Lord of the Rings?
I know, but it's a thing.
That's where I'm torn.
Because I want to, like how you did it. You picked an action. You picked comedy. And I guess you picked you picked two actions and a comedy.
Yeah, I threw myself a bone there with a double action.
Yeah, I win.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm sticking with mine.
I have to drop Lord of the Rings in there. I mean, I watch that movie every other day.
Mm-hmm. Now, if it was the Two Towers, I would say the Two Towers. Then yes, if it was the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, I would say the Two Towers, but not Fellowship.
Fellowship started it all.
I know, but I like the Two Towers better.
And then I'm gonna go with Indiana Jones because I've always wanted to be Indiana Jones. I love that movie.
I was gonna say,
you know what? I could safely say I've never wanted to be Indiana Jones.
Wow. Well, you're not really an 80s kid.
Exactly.
Yeah, I grew up watching Indiana Jones. I wanted to be him.
Like I can still watch it today. Like I can literally watch all of them.
I even took an archaeology class, intro to archaeology, at UTSA twice, and I failed it both times because I wanted to be Indiana Jones so bad.
Random sidebar while you're thinking, I was reading a Reddit thread of most boring jobs, and the first one that was like most upvoted or whatever was archaeologist, because there was like, yeah, most of the days I'm just out in the desert and I'm just finding old pots and glasses.
The class was so boring. It was so boring. But I wanted to be Indiana Jones so bad. I took it again the next semester with the same teacher, and I failed it again.
We just know the
Oh, I know. I was like, it can't be this boring the second time. It was. And with that, I'm going to go with Star Wars. So Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Lord of the Rings.
All right. Chavo says Dark Knight, Fight Club, and Wedding Crashers. All right. I'm going to take off Princess Bride for me, and I'm going to put on Snatch. Snatch is a fucking funny movie, dude. It's good.
It has everything in it.
Yes. I love Snatch. Okay. So that's mine. Tombstone, Snatch, and what did I say? Tombstone, Snatch, and
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Yeah. So that's mine. Cool.
See, Dark Knight. I mean,
you can't go. I mean, it's Heath. I'm sorry. Like that's the best Joker ever. So that has to be on there. And he was pretty much the first superhero movie to ever be nominated for an Oscar. So that's it for me. But there's so many good ones. I mean,
it's hard, but like I said, I'm going with Star Wars,
like Saving Private Ryan, dude,
have to be in there because
Saving Private Ryan's got to be one of the best war movies ever.
Those two movies were like my childhood. I grew up with those two movies: A New Hope, Indiana Jones.
I think the best Indiana Jones for me was Last Crusades. I like
Last Crusades. Yeah, to me that was my favorite.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite.
First one I ever saw was Temple of Doom. And then when I found out there was two more Indiana Jones movies,
when you found out Raiders of the Lost Ark was the first one,
I know. I was like, what?
Like, wait a minute, that didn't do it right.
Oh yeah.
But there you go. You have our picks for the pick 3. You guys have the list as well. Ochoa says he loves Snatch too. Thank you. Yes, Snatch is a very good movie. Fast and the Furious started as a 10-part film. It's the original. It's
the first one.
The first one.
The
it's
best one.
It's the best one. It's the first one. And Fast 5 would be number 2. Would be the best one for me.
Yeah.
But going on,
brought it back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what brought it back. Pretty much going on. Let's go on to the sports side of the show, which what we like to do so much when the girls are not here because they understand what we're talking about. But the new $500 million man, Patrick Mahomes, over the week, and everybody knows this story already because it broke out on Monday. But that's literally a baseball contract that he fucking signed. Like, he is literally the highest paid athlete of all times in any major sport. But the thing is that the contract looks good. The money looks big and huge, but he's still not being paid as one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL.
Because when you break it down, it's over a 10-year deal. Means you have to wear a Chiefs jersey for 10 years just to get the full 503?
Yeah.
Is what the last
503 was the last number.
I think his first came out, it was a little under 5, and then when they finally finished everything and it broke.
Yeah, that's where it stopped. Because it started at 400 million, and then all of a sudden, within an hour or two, it bumped up another $100 million to 500 million. And with that, out of that $503 million, 473 million is guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Fuck. I know 100 and some are guaranteed if he gets injured.
Yeah.
So he's chilling.
He's on easy
young,
street right now.
Healthy. I mean,
he signed this contract still with 2 years left of his rookie deal.
The best part about this deal for the Chiefs is that it's not tied to a percentage of the cap. So, for example, for the people that don't know out there, there's never been or there hasn't been a quarterback that has exercised the right to say, instead of paying me $20 million a year, you're going to pay me 15% of whatever the salary cap is. So if the salary cap goes up, you get paid more. If it goes down, you get paid less. So you just kind of take a gamble. And with the NFL, the business booming as it is, it's not going to go down anytime soon. So eventually his contract is going to be a bargain, and he's going to be able to command a team around him too.
Yeah, because when the deal starts, pretty much it's going to be the first year he's getting like, I think only 37 or $40 million. It doesn't hit to the $50 million mark until the fourth or third year of that contract.
And the thing is that he's only getting that $30 million against the salary cap. They can still give him a signing bonus of, for example, I believe it was reported he gets a signing bonus of a cool $60 million.
Yeah. So
let's imagine Patrick Mahomes waking up with Friday that direct deposit of $60 million in the bank.
Cha-ching. Now, of course, when this broke out, it always means, okay, what's this for the other quarterbacks that are out there who are on their 2-year rookie deal, or what is going to go with Dak, or what's this going to happen with this quarterback or that quarterback?
One of the big things, it changes the whole Dak scenario in Dallas now that we know, what Mahomes is getting. Now Dak is
they have until the 15th.
Like,
They have until the 15th. To making a contract extension, but like I said before, Dak has all this leverage. Franchise tag, all that money is guaranteed, and fine. If you want to franchise me again next year, fine. I literally made $70 million in guaranteed money for the next 2 years, because that's what it's going to be. Total of that will be $70 million for Dak Prescott in guaranteed money. Let him keeps franchising him, but the thing is that the longer you wait, the more expensive he becomes.
7 years.
Sign it now.
I can't wait 7 years for Dak Prescott when it happens.
And you know Dallas is going to want to make the deal now to get him, I mean, not cheap, but the cheapest that they will go right now. So, I say make the deal.
Give him the 3 years.
Like you said, I mean, with the blueprint that Mahomes is laying out, pretty much for quarterbacks moving forward with this contract, I mean, it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy.
Let me tell you, Justin, there's a lot of Ben Roethlisberger slander on the chat right now.
Yeah, it's going down.
A lot of slander.
I'm also about to say too with Barry here saying, unfortunately, Dak is not Mahomes. Of course, Dak is not Mahomes. No one's Mahomes. No one's Patrick Hall of Fame Mahomes. Nobody. Nobody even thought Mahomes was going to be this except for Andy Reid and the people who saw Patrick Mahomes. Like for myself, I would see Patrick Mahomes every freaking Saturday. Texas always played Texas Tech, and he would always give us a run for our money. We would win, but hey, he gave us a run for our money, and I saw what he can do.
And he was one of those that was good in college and proved, I mean, that he's an NFL quarterback.
And he's a spread offense quarterback. He can't make it. Look what he fucking did, bro.
He's a real deal. He is a real deal.
What, third year Super Bowl win, right? Or second year, something like third. Yeah, third year. Yeah. Took him to the Super Bowl.
And it's not like his first 2 years weren't that good. I mean,
he still is the highest passer rating quarterback since he came into the league. I think it's like 78%, something like that as a QBR rating. That's something.
I think since if we're on the topic of Dak real fast, I think he's a top 5 quarterback still, though. I feel like I defend Dak all the time, but he gets slandered a lot here.
I'm with you on that. He is a top 5 quarterback. He has done more than Carson Wentz since they both came into the league. Carson Wentz has a Super Bowl ring, but Carson Wentz did not win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's just the best ability is availability for Carson Wentz. He could be better, but he just gets hurt all the time. And is that his fault? No, but
but
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's just injury prone. But I mean, it's just like Zach needs to get paid. He deserves them. He deserves what he needs to get. Of course, the 40 whatever million is that he's asking for, or the tablets are saying the 45 or whatever, the 50 million. No, give him his 3 years that he wants. Give him the 3-year deal with the amount that you're going to pay him now as you franchise tag him, because next year he's going to be worth 38 million. Why don't you sign him a little bit more over than Carson Wentz and give him the 3-year deal to where when the third year comes around, it can be restructured to where it'll be healthy against the highest cap, because the cap's only going to go up with these new TV deals that they're going to be having and the new streaming deals that they're going to be having. It's only going to go up. That's why when everybody saw Patrick Mahomes' 10-year deal was like, well, damn, but he's only getting 40 million or 50 million here. He's still not one of the highest paid quarterbacks.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of room for negotiation in that. In that part of that deal was he was able to get more.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's nuts. And he deserves every penny. He deserves every penny of that.
He does, because he's a winner. I still feel, okay, yes, Dak is possibly a top 5 quarterback. He's number 5, hanging on there at that number 5 spot. But
he's hanging. Oh yeah,
he's dangling. He's holding it.
Is Big Ben a top 5 quarterback still?
We'll find out this season.
Hey, I think he's top 5. Honestly, he's underrated. He's had a shitty coach for his whole career. Maybe with Mike McCarthy, he'll be.
That's what I'm waiting to see.
That's the thing.
If Dak can prove to me he can win games the way the 4 quarterbacks ahead of him can win these games, be a leader out there, prove that he can take over a game, control the game, and win. Yes, pay him his money. To me, he hasn't done that yet. He's not consistent with it yet. He's not consistent every game doing that.
I think that Cowboys fans are forgetting just how bad Jason Garrett was of a coach.
He was a hell of an offensive coordinator. I can tell you that. He can call plays up there badass, but him being the clapper, that can only do so much. That can only do so much.
I think Mike McCarthy will help Dak a lot, honestly. I think he helped Aaron Rodgers become who he was. I think Aaron Rodgers and Dak could be right there neck and neck with each other this year. They'll be just as good as each other, to be honest, I think.
I'm with you.
It'll be interesting to see Dak with the real quarterback and see what he can do. Then pay him his
the real
money.
Quarterback.
I mean with the real coach. With the real coach is what I meant. Okay. Dak with a real coach, and then see what he can do. Now that you have your running back, you have your receivers. Now we got you a coach. Now show us you're worth this money.
And I'm glad they kept Kellen Moore. I'm glad they kept him as the offensive coordinator and not bringing a whole new system where they have to start over and work on it and stuff, which Dak and Zeke and everybody on that team and the offense knows the system except for CeeDee Lamb, who is the new receiver.
And I think he'll just be fine.
Yeah, he's going to adjust very well.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope the Cowboys come collect with a defense too, because their offense has not been their problem. It's been just as much their defense too. It's been up and down. I hope this year the Cowboys do well, just so I can shove it in all the Dak Prescott haters' faces. That's just purely it. Otherwise, I don't care about the Cowboys at all.
I hope they have another great 8-8 season.
Well, I think they're going to be NFC champs and hopefully make it to the AFC Championship game. That's just me.
Hey,
the lone Cowboy fan.
I'd hate to see it.
I hate to see it too. No, I'd love to see it. That would be something. I mean, Mike McCarthy coming in his first year, taking them to the NFC Championship, and because that's why they hired him. He has the Super Bowl ring. That's why he got hired, because of the Super Bowl ring. But then Aaron Rodgers talked shit about him and how he was coaching after when he won the Super Bowl and stuff. So
I think Aaron Rodgers has proved that he's not the easiest guy to coach.
I agree.
I think repeated coaching staffs has and all these rumors have been pretty apparent that he's not an easy guy to coach. He's a great human being. He's an amazing quarterback, but he's so smart that he'll get out of plays and he'll fuck up your system or whatever. And you, as a coach, you just gotta have to roll with it. And some coaches can and can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And then Choa said the cap is not necessarily going up depending on the COVID. And it could drop next year. It could drop, but the thing is that possibly that could be going up is because of the deals, of the TV deals and the new streaming deals that are supposed to be taking effect by next year.
And let me tell you, one drop back of a couple $1 million is not going to stop the NFL.
Hell no. Shit, even if the season gets delayed and the Super Bowl gets played in, say, like they said if they delay the season and the Super Bowl gets played in March, you're gonna conflict with March Madness. Who cares? The NFL doesn't really care. Yeah. They're this big, huge $1 billion company, or should I say this big, huge gorilla of whatever, walking in and pretty much putting themselves on the table wherever they want to. But just imagine this. If the NFL does get pushed back and the Super Bowl does go into March Madness, imagine Saturday night, regional games, or the Final Four games, right? Sunday night will be your Super Bowl, and Monday night will be your fucking national championship game. Like, come on. That's like a badass freaking sports weekend in itself right there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
This is all assuming we get a March Madness.
Yeah, well, assuming there is, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if that ever happened and everything is still taking effect with the spring sports and stuff, nobody's going to care because that's going to be a win-win.
NFL's one of the organizations right now that are like they really haven't taken any crazy precautionary methods as,
and they have a long time to prepare.
But they're still on track.
Hey,
like
we're playing football this year.
We're playing football this year. It's happening.
Yeah, I mean it's like with college now. Big Ten came out this past week of saying they're not going to do any non-conference games. They're only going to play conference games.
Yeah, they're the only conference to not delay their football season and everything.
Right.
So they're still scheduled to go kick off in the fall, play each other for the fake national championship that I don't know why they're still playing, but whatever, it's fine. If they want to play football for no one and no reason, go ahead.
I mean that's what they want to do. So Big Ten is just strictly playing conference games. So their non-conference schedule would affect them because they didn't play any non-conference games. But we'll see how it goes. Are other conferences going to start following them? Or, I mean, the Big 12, as far as we know, we're up and running. We're playing the whole schedule.
The ACC is already delayed as well.
Yeah, ACC is already delayed. And it's basically Big 12 and SEC are the ones that are still going forward.
Ones that matter.
The SEC is pushing forward, let me tell you that.
Yeah, they're not going to shut down.
It's that NFL mentality, football will be played. There's so much money in football. There's they will spend the money on the test and the spreading out of people.
And coming into the college realm, that's pretty much where they get most of their money for all the other sports.
That's how they fund
the money maker. That's the college money maker.
So, I mean, like, Texas is spending literally $1 million to $2 million on just cleaning products alone. Like, of course, they can do that and spend that much on cleaning products and stuff like that because they're in one of the Power 5 conferences, but somebody like UTSA or Incarnate Word, they might not have a season because they can't afford that type of stuff. So it's up in the air. We'll see how it goes when it comes to the football season. As far as right now, NFL's still on track. College is still on track. The only thing is Big Ten's not playing their non-conference, and ACC is delaying their season. But for us here in Southwest and in the South, it's nothing but SEC and Big 12 football. So
the issue is really we need all the Power 5 schools to be in lockstep because Imagine if we get to the time and the SEC, Big 10, and Big 12 are like, all right, we're playing, and then we're just going to leave the ACC out. We're just going to have no ACC schools, no bowls with ACC schools at all, no national championship with ACC schools and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's dumb.
Well, but that's just how the ACC is working, because you got to remember the NCAA doesn't have like a commissioner like the NFL, where one guy can say, oh, you know what, I'm shutting down the entire league for right now. Each conference has its own commissioner.
They often come up with the agreement. And that was a good point. I think it was, I don't know if it was today or yesterday. With the big UFC event that is coming out. Next
topic.
They actually interviewed Dana White, and one of the topics that they asked him was, like, what advice? You're doing this so well. You're doing this, blah blah blah. Like,
well, shit, he bought a whole island.
What advice can you give to the other commissioners? Have they reached out? Blah blah. And he said, he goes, it's very hard. It's very expensive. But the thing is, I'm the boss. I call the shots. I don't have to answer to nobody. And he said, NFL, college, there's so many people saying yes and no, that it can cause a lot of conflict. With him, it's hard, but it's easy because at the end of the day, what he says goes. If he's the guy, and it's not like that with these other organizations. You have to deal with the owners, the commission, the players union, coaches, organizations. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're not playing in any bubbles like the NBA. They're going to be traveling city to city.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have college football anymore. I think with the ACC delaying, I think the best case scenario, we get college football in the spring, and then
that's what the Ivy League is going to be doing.
If we get college football in the spring, players like Trevor Lawrence and high draft picks are going to be like, why the fuck am I going to play this?
No, well, they're not. They're going in. But see, that's where they should have a supplemental draft.
Well, I think football canceled that too.
They did they?
Yeah, they canceled that for this past year. They might. I mean, this will be a next year's draft class, but I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't think if we do this spring football season, I don't think we're gonna get our big time prospects and all those guys playing either.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that are we being selfish?
Very much so.
Because we want sports so bad.
Yes. That is
to where why don't we just hold off and wait until this shit pretty much clears out to where we can actually go see live sports.
Yeah, that's the right answer, Andrew. But I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know. We're selfish people because we want what we want.
I mean, not just us. I mean, not just us, because the owners and everything. They're like, is it worth? How much money are we going to lose sitting out a year than spending all this and doing half a season or 3/4 of a season? And I mean, they're still trying to make their money, so they're kind of going with their win-lose situation right now. It looks like it's a better gamble to spend some money to make all this money than just to take a loss. Just to take a loss. Because I mean, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, but we'll all watch for sure.
You know what really kind of throws me off a little bit and stupid is when the report came out of, because you know how players swap jerseys at the end of they can't swap jerseys and they can't shake hands, but yet you're gonna let them clash heads, spit on each other, blood, sweat, but you can't shake hands and pass out jerseys after the game. Come on, like what you're doing that already? Like
it's like giving us things. It's like we know what we want. And the NFL knows what we want, but they're doing other things to try to be like, hey, okay, is this what you want? It's like asking for apple pie and you get cherry pie. And you're like, what the fuck do I want this? I don't want cherry pie. I want apple pie.
I want strawberry pie.
Pie's pie. No, it's not.
No, I want the apple pie. And they just keep giving us different pies. We do not want it.
Dynamos has a pretty good point. This is what he said. He said it's similar to what Major League Baseball, with their no season, and they really can't afford it like MLB. Yeah, with the minor leagues, there is no minor league season. With like the missions are done. There's no season for the missions this year.
Yeah, there's really no point.
There isn't.
It would just be an endeavor to try to make money and put people at risk. But we have the Texas Collegiate season, which is something.
The Flying Chanclas.
Yeah,
hey, they're undefeated.
Sure, yeah. Sure, great.
They're undefeated.
Great. Chancla pride,
Yeah. Just let them fly. But
and even though Choa makes a good point, I mean, yes, UFC is different. It's very limited people.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the NBA.
And the NBA is a bigger version of that, but it's still nothing compared to NFL.
NFL is a 60-man roster.
Yeah, but one of the big things that Dana White did say though, during this little interview, because it was I think it was on SportsCenter.
Had to have been Sports Center.
Yeah, his thing was like, it's gonna be hard, and he's like I say, it comes down to he's the boss, he's the one calling the shots, it's gonna make it all difficult.
Mhm.
But then they asked him, if you ran the NFL, would you still do it? And he said yes. He goes, I would find a way.
He'll find a way.
And he just said, I'm the type of guy that, that he feels there's a solution to every problem. And if he was in charge of the NFL, he would still find a way to have a season. And that's what I think.
But there's no way you can put the NFL in a bubble.
Oh, yeah,
there's no way you can put the NFL in a bubble. There's no way you can put Major League in a bubble.
But his whole point was he would find a way. If he can't use the bubble system, he'll find another way.
Mhm.
Even if it's
that's
maybe
the only way you would probably find a way.
Multiple bubbles in
cleaning everything
different regions. Maybe you put all these teams play in this area, that team.
I mean, it's like
his
the
point
NBA.
Was, we're gonna He goes, I found a way. I'm pretty sure these guys are gonna find a way.
Well, yeah, because the NFL has the longest time to basically prep for their season, because they literally finished when the pandemic started.
Yes.
So they had this whole time to prep, and they have this 200-page book that they're putting out to every NFL team of their guidance and what they need to do for this during this pandemic, because they're going to be traveling to city, 60-man roster, blood, sweat, and tears on every one another, and see where we go from there. So that's pretty much it where we are when it comes to the football terms. But like Jay Steele was saying about Dana White, let's get into some MMA. And we do get into this MMA every now and then when there's a pretty good fight card. And there's going to be a pretty kick-ass fight card this weekend.
And it looks like we are coming live from Fight Island in Abu Dhabi.
Woo! Yeah, see, we're not Talking Heads, because Talking Hands is really the show that brings you the MMA. We're pretty much here. We just give you our picks and who we think could win.
Yeah, Talking Cans is definitely the show to go for if you're trying to make a quick buck on the fights.
Yep. That's all they do. They want to book it. They want to book it. They want to be your bookie. So if you guys want to make some bets on this fight, tune in to Talking Hands, because they do give you some pretty kick-ass and badass information, let me tell you. But let's go into this and get our picks when it comes to this UFC. What is it? UFC
251. I mean, we cover sports. This is about all the sports we have right now, and this is a big event. I mean, if you're not watching this event,
it's going to be a big event. We got MMA this weekend, and we got wrestling this weekend. So, yes. I'm sorry, I'm a wrestling fan, WWE too. Anyway, let's get into this MMA thing. Go for it, Jay Steele. Let's start with the pretty much first. Actually, let's start with the title fights. Let's go with the title fights. Let's do the title fights.
Okay. Which one first? You want to do the Aldo and
let's go with the females first. Let's go with Rose and her opponent.
Rose, I don't know how to say her last name. Namajunas.
Rose Namajunas.
Yes.
Versus Jessica Andrade.
And this is a rematch. If you don't know,
because didn't Rose beat her for the title?
No. I think Andrade beat Rose already once.
Before she won the title.
Yes, but it was a close fight, and it's Andrade dropped, like, body slammed Rose, and she like landed right on her head and like knocked her out. Yeah. So this is a rematch. I think I mean, I can't pronounce the other girl's name, but I think she's gonna beat Rose.
So the Rose is not gonna be the Rose.
No,
she's gonna get clipped.
I think.
I'll be honest. I have a rather large wager on this fight on Rose. She's the favorite, and she's gonna break the girl's arm hopefully in like 5 minutes. So
damn!
Positive vibes only over here.
So you think the Rose is gonna get a submission instead of a knockout in this one?
You know what, Andrew? I really don't care how it happens.
You just want Rose to win.
I want Rose to separate that girl from her consciousness, and that's it. And then
it's going to be close. It's going to be a very, I mean, man, all these fights, this card is just stacked.
It's stacked.
This card is stacked. It could go either way, pretty much for any one of these fights. I'm just going to go with the other girl. I feel like Rose.
So Jessica Andrade?
Yeah. Rose had quite a bit of downtime. I mean,
Andrade apparently slammed Rose on her head, according to Mr. Parra in the chat. So I mean, maybe
that's what it was. That was her first. She already beat Rose. I mean, it was a close fight up until that, and it was like a weird grab. Like they kind of got into this like
some kind of clinch.
Yeah, and then she got like her hand under her leg and like kind of picked her up, and it was an awkward slam, and she got knocked out.
And Rose is not that heavy, dude. She's flaca. She's
strong
slim.
weights,
so yeah. So I think
who are you guys gonna pick?
I think it's gonna be the champ. I really think she's probably gonna get her revenge on this one. I think Rose is gonna take the title. I really do, because Rose is pretty much the underdog, but I think Rose is gonna get it. It's gonna get it. I really do.
I got Rose losing.
Okay, I've got Rose winning.
All right, 2-1 on that one.
All right, next fight.
Next fight. Let's go. We're gonna go bantamweight, where it is Jose Aldo and Peter
Yan.
Peter Yan,
Yeah,
the Russian.
Just forgot an E in there.
Yeah. Petro. Just like,
I'll go first. I think Jan's gonna take it. I think Jan's a beast right now.
Dude, I was watching his highlights. Fuck.
I mean, Aldo's a legend. I mean, he's
He fought McGregor. That's probably what people remember him from.
They remember him from that. But before that, he was the champion of that division for 10 years, unbeaten. He was the first person to get that title, and he held it all the way until McGregor.
Yeah, the first bantamweight.
He is a legend. I mean, but this is not the weight class he was at. He was at lightweight when he fought McGregor and when he ran that division. This is a weight class lower. I think this is his third fight
as a bantam.
As a bantamweight. But I got to go with Jan. I mean, Jan's just a beast, and he's kind of been running through everybody. He's not a very popular and well-known name, but I think after this fight, he will be.
I think I'm with you on that one too. When it comes to Jan, what he did to Faber.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Faber is pretty much like Aldo. He's been in the UFC. He's a legend. Faber held the title and the bantamweight, and what Jan did to him in that match was fucking ugly. Like that left kick that took Faber out, and not before that, he knocked him already on his butt already. But the knockout with that kick that took Faber out was ugh. And like I said, I was watching some of his highlights for particularly for this match, and pretty much
he's a beast.
He's knocking everybody out. So I think Jan's gonna go ahead and take this. Although, yeah, he's UFC legend, but I think his time has passed, and it's time to pass the torch. So I think
Yan across the board.
Yeah, knockout. I say first round.
Balls.
Knockout in the first round.
All right, next fight.
Ballsy.
I got you guys. Alex Volkanovski versus Max Holloway
Yeah.
rematch. Volkanovski beat him earlier by decision, I believe.
But that wasn't for the title, though, right? That was just
it was for the title.
It was for the title.
Holloway was the champ.
Okay.
Volkanovski won the belt from Holloway. It did go all five
rounds,
decisions.
Okay.
And
dude,
this is gonna be his first title defense.
I'm afraid Max wants his revenge, dude. Because all right, I'm gonna go first on this one. Max Holloway, I love him, the Hawaiian. He's badass. I just think he wants to come for revenge. Yeah, you got Alexander, you got the champ, who's basically 21 and 1 and 0 pretty much. So I think Max wants to come with revenge. It could go all 5 rounds again. Hopefully Max comes out with a decision on this one. So I'm saying Max.
I'm a huge fan of Max Holloway. Always have been. I mean, I think he was a great champ, but I think Volkanovski.
I'm going with Volkanovski.
I'm going with Volkanovski too. I mean, since it went to decision, there's a lot of back and forth about, did he really win? I rewatched the fight a couple of times. I think he won the fight. I don't think it was that close as some people are saying it. And he's saying that he doesn't like that talk, and he's going to make it a point to put Holloway away this fight, so there won't be any discussion.
And if he puts Holloway away, like if he literally knocks him the fuck out, and Holloway is dazed out, then I think Holloway, that's it for Holloway.
Yeah,
but
he's had an amazing career run. He's one of those ones, like, kind of turning that corner,
kind of being like, all right, like pretty much becoming the Randy Couture.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's a pioneer. He's done everything.
Mm-hmm.
He held the belt, defended it multiple times. But I think it's Volkanovski's time. I mean, that guy is also a beast. He is a beast.
Passing the torch time.
Yeah,
but I'm still going with Holloway on this one. I'm not going to change my pick.
I wouldn't be mad if Holloway won, but I think Volkanovski's going to take this one.
Right.
I'll take Volkanovski as well.
Okay. Now we go to the main event, the welterweight Uzma versus Masvidal.
Usman.
Usman.
I'm sorry, Usman. My
Yeah,
bad.
you're thinking The Incredibles.
Uzma. Yeah, let me get that for you, Uzma. That's actually Emperor's New Groove. Uzma and Masvidal. Josie, go for it. Who do you got?
I'm going with Usman. I've been told by the higher ups that he's going to grapple the hell out of Masvidal, and it's not going to be an entertaining fight per se, but he's going to take him down, keep him on the ground for 5 rounds.
So he's going to be using all that weight.
Yeah, or you know who? Fuck it, maybe Masvidal knees him in the face in the first fight.
Dude, if Masvidal comes out that way, like how he did in that match, and connects, that would be fucking something. Jay Steele, who's your pick? Who you got?
On paper, Usman should win this fight. But I don't like the guy. I don't like his attitude. I don't like his whole persona. I just don't like him. I'm going to go with Masvidal. Masvidal is my guy. And I think he has a very underrated wrestling and ground game. I mean, he's with American Top Team. They have some of the best wrestlers in the world. Everybody thinks Masvidal has a weak wrestling and ground game because he's never had to use it. He stands up and
he knocks people out.
I do think Usman will go for the takedown because he knows, I mean, Masvidal has that puncher's chance if they stand up. But I think Masvidal is going to stuff some of those takedowns.
And he's accurate.
And I think if he gets taken down, I think he's going to get up fast and Usman's going to burn a lot of energy. I do not think he will be like some other people are saying that he's just going to ragdoll him and wrestle him and pressure him, kind of how Khabib fights.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's gonna go that way. I mean, I know Usman's a great wrestler, but I think Masvidal has that fighter IQ, and I think he's gonna find his way out of those situations. And I think it's gonna be an interesting fight.
And it's for title, right?
No, the BMF belt is not up for grabs.
Okay.
Because Masvidal said that Usman is not a BMF.
That's fair.
He's just a guy.
Yeah. All right.
And they came out and said it. You know, for that belt, you have to be a BMF. You kind of have to have that
swagger mentality, like with Nick Diaz.
Yeah, and that the BMF belt is not on the line for this. It is just strictly for the actual.
I like how they brought that out, dude. That was cool. That's kind of like how the hardcore championship for WWE. That's badass. So you got Masvidal, Josie, Usman. Okay. Usman, what he did to Kobe Covington to get that title was fucking magical. And he literally shut that fucker up. Masvidal can talk it, can back it up. He does it all. That's why he is the baddest motherfucker. But this is totally tough for me. It's like literally spit down the middle. But I really, I would love to see Masvidal win an actual UFC title. He is willing. He deserves it. He's been in this game for a very, very long time. His record shows it, being 35-13, being the age of 35 years old. And still
13 of those losses are 2 decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they were all pretty much close fights. That's like a lot. One of the big things about Masvidal is he was kind of also coming to this point in his career where a lot of the fights were going through decisions, and then he went on this reality TV show in like Brazil or Cuba or somewhere, and they were like literally in the jungle, like it was kind of like a Survivor type
like
thing.
Bear Grylls.
Yeah, and he said like it changed his life. Like there was just times where he was out there for like months and months at a time, just reflecting on his freaking life, and it changed him. And
got spiritual, man.
He got spiritual, and he came back with this mentality. And look what, and he went on a run,
dominating.
He went on a run and been dominating. And he said he's not going to let it go to decision. He doesn't. That was his big turning point. Was he's not going to let these fights go to decision, because a lot of those 10 out of those 13 losses he feels should have been the other way.
That he won.
He says he goes to finish, and he was the underdog against Darren Till.
He's the underdog here.
Knocked Darren Till out. He was the underdog against Ben Askren.
Mm-hmm.
Knocked Ben Askren out.
He was pretty much the underdog in almost all his fights.
All his fights.
When he came to UFC.
Yeah. And
he was pretty much the underdog in all his fights when he came to UFC. But I'm gonna go with Jay Steele in this. I think Masvidal, I think it's his time. He's been in the game for too long. He hasn't really had that gold. Having the belt of the BMF is a good title, but
I think they came out and said it's he has the most fights without having a title shot. I think he like, set that record, like the most fights without ever getting a title shot.
Would you guys like to make a wager on this this fight? Make this interesting.
I'm not gonna bet.
Sure.
I'll bet you $5 right here, right now.
You know what? I'll throw $5.
I'll double that. I'll do 10.
Okay. All right. $10.
Now you're gonna make me do 10. Okay, I'm gonna do 10 too.
I'm balling on the house.
We're gonna make
I'll pay you
Josie a rich man.
I'll pay you each 10, and then you guys will pay me 10. Yeah, it'll be great.
I'll throw 10 on it. Live on air.
Is this the only one we're gonna do a bet on?
Yeah.
Hey, do you have another one you feel strongly about?
Holloway.
Okay, I'll take Volkanovski.
All right.
All right, that's
10 and 10.
All right, there we go. No problem.
Why don't we just do all the title matches?
I've got
well,
Alex.
we both said Jan.
Well, yeah, me and you got Rose.
Volkanovski, so me and him are pretty much, on the same. Well, except for the Rose fight. Yeah, but I'm not gonna bet on that one. I got the main event. I'm gonna go Masvidal. Josie has Usman. $10 on the line.
Yeah.
And I have Volkanovski and Mr. Andrew.
I got Holloway.
All right.
And we're all pretty much straight on Jan and the women's title shot.
Oh, I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to see it now.
I am ready for Saturday. And I'm also ready for Sunday. But that's pretty much it when it comes to the film room, guys. Hope you like our picks. You guys get your picks in too. And if you guys want to know more about this fight coming up this week, don't forget to tune in to Talking Hands, where you can get some good advice and get your bets in as well. Once again, this is the film room coming live from Southtown 101 and Post Sports Radio Studios. I'm your host, Texas Drew, along with Jay Steele. We are out. Peace.